and we're playing Isaac. At this point, you should acknowledge that it's good that we have a black screen, or the overlay, I should say, because you're gonna, trust me, you're gonna see this little kid in the basement for like the next 3 hours probably. Will NL win this one? I'm just getting the casino set up. Yes, no. I feel like I need to let you know as I give you a 2-minute submission period here, like it's the UFC. I think I'm on like an 8 or 9 game win streak. Many people lately have been suggesting that I might be the best to ever do it. I don't make the rules. I simply enforce them. There we go. We're back over here. That means he's due to lose. Meet the cop who can't be stopped. Super Cop. So true. Name that movie? Don't. It's Hot Fuzz. Okay. New run. 10 win streak. Can you believe it? Just making sure my keyboard is placed in an optimum position. I'm moving chat over, so I have to move my head 5 less degrees to glance. Okay, I'm ready to go. Hi, Anel. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'll give you full disclosure why I was late today. My daughter, she's approaching an obstinate age, and she has decided recently... Oh, you piece of crap. She's decided recently that she doesn't like to brush her teeth anymore. I'm just gonna move my head over a little bit to maybe like this area right here. Based? No, this is not based. Brushing your teeth, even, because everybody, I mean, I don't know, everybody who is either like a bad parent or doesn't have kids is like, it's okay, they have baby teeth. You can't, look, you can't do that. You can't just be like, it's okay, I'll just let my child's teeth rot out of her head to save me a little bit of stress in the morning, and then I'll just teach her to brush her teeth later. That's not the right take, okay? She might need the Pokemon app as far as I'm concerned. So basically, I don't know, kids are wild. What did we do in order to get her to brush her teeth? We basically just, I held her for like 10 minutes and kept going like, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. That's pretty good. And then she was like, no, 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 okay. And then it's like, so that was, when I tweeted, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, I tweeted that with one hand while holding my daughter and her toothbrush with the other. Just being like, it's gonna take as long as it takes. It could be quite some time, and that's okay. It's all good. It's what you sign up for, but that's, you know, just an example of how, everything else was like pretty normal this morning. Everything else was A-okay, and then you know, one little monkey wrench, a 1-minute chore turns into a 10-minute chore, and all of a sudden you're later than you expect. At least, let's put it that way. How'd you end up convincing her? I just kind of waited her out, honestly. You know, 5 minutes is like an eternity to a little kid, whereas for me, it's like the smallest length of time that I actually considered that maybe you could do something with, like you could clip your fingernails with it or something like that. But I learned, I thought that I was going to be like kind of an easy dad. What a dodge, by the way. Because I really don't like conflict. I'm a people pleaser. I like to basically give people what they want. You know? If the option was like me do something that takes 20 minutes, or have like a 5-minute discussion and then someone else will do it, I would rather just do it myself and save the discussion. But I honestly think I really need to keep this health down. I kind of think that teaching in Korea really informed how I am as a parent now. Kind of wish I saved the bomb. Because, oh, I haven't even been to the item room. You're absolutely correct. Thank you, believers. Because I realized, like, when I went to Korea, my teaching strategy for, like, the first couple of weeks was like, I'm gonna be like a cool teacher where I'm just going to reason with the kids. When they're misbehaving, I'm not going to, like, you know, try to discipline them or restore order in the classroom because they're just, you know, individuals just like me. You know, I'm sure they'll respond to logic. And for the first month, they ate me alive. I think this actually was a necessary learning step for me to become a more effective parent. Because, you know, sometimes Kate will be like, oh, maybe it's okay if she, like, doesn't brush her teeth today. I'm like, absolutely not. It's literally, like, orthodontically okay for her to go one morning without brushing her teeth. But now that we've committed to, like, we told you have to brush your teeth, we can't, we can sit here for 6 hours. We gotta enforce the lesson that you cannot win a negotiation with mom and dad at age 20 months. We know what's best for you right now. You know essentially nothing. So I'm gonna... One way or the... If you want to make this a war of attrition, then fine. Let's make it a war of attrition. Give you a little. Just a little. I'm gonna go down to 5 cents. I'm willing to go that low. 5 cents? What a piece of crap, man. What a piece of garbage. Okay, I'm going further. Who cares about an arcade? You're such a piece of shit. Oh my god. Oh my... Okay, you know what? Fine. Apparently, as part of the Beelzebub transformation. Should have used how to jump to get some extra money, but whatever. I'm not that kind of player. At what age do you stop using months for your kid's age? I think 2 is like a good example. That's a good baseline. $18 months? Okay, so my daughter's 20 months old. How old is she? She's a bit under 2? That's just months with extra steps, you disingenuous so-and-so. She's 1.5? That's months, dude! At what age do you stop using halves, then? People be like, oh, it's so cringe how parents describe their children's age in months instead of years. Oh, how old are you? 28 3/4. Like, just listen to yourself for 5 seconds. Have a rhetorically consistent position. Challenge 2022. The degree of difficulty, impossible. Here's my philosophy, okay? Nobody ever says, like, if you're... Well, actually, this is not true. Because what I was going to say is, like, I'm 33, but my birthday is in November. So I'm turning 34 this year, but I don't say my age is 34. I say I'm 33 until... Thank you. My birthday comes to pass. But they kind of do it differently in Korea. You know, not that... I mean, this is just for... comparison's sake. I'm not trying to say one is better or worse, but it creates a constant source of discussion between my wife and myself, because my birthday is at the end of November, and I'm like, hey, I'm 33, and then on January 1st, she's like, you're 34, and I'm like, no, I'm not, and then she's like, yes, you are, you were born in 1988, and it's, you know, 2022, so you're 34, and I'm like, so I get like 30 days... Yes, even though you got changed because you were too much fun. I got like 30 days of being my age, and then immediately I age up 1 year, 30 days later, which is crazy. I'm out of here. I'm gone. So to wrap this back up a little bit, I'm out. To wrap this back up a little bit, I don't want to say that my daughter is 2, even though she's 20 months old. Because she's not 2, she's 1. You know, the way that North Americans count age, she's 1 year old. But I also don't want to say that she's 1, because she's not 1. Like, a 1-year-old baby is just like, kind of like a slug. They just sort of like, you know, maybe they're taking their first couple steps and stuff like that. But they're not, you know, my daughter is speaking in almost full sentences. Like yesterday, we came home from daycare. She she opened the doorknob, walked into our house, and then said, "Mommy, I walked home," which was a lie, and a concerning lie. But like that is a sign of cognitive advancement, that she was able to lie in a full sentence. Like lying is something that's an advanced level verbal technique. She knew the truth and misrepresented it for the purposes of telling a joke. The only other animal I know that like lies, I don't know, maybe dolphins? You ever see dogs being scolded when they like rip up a stuffed animal or something? They're the most honest animal on the planet. They're always like, Mortimer, who did this? They don't lie. I don't think my cats lie. Like, they don't have a reason to lie. We can't punish them effectively. There's, like, no real consequences that we can, you know... We can't affect their cat life, essentially. They know we're not going to put them in the garbage disposal, so, like, they know we hold no power. You gotta. You gotta. Whoa! Super range! Anyway. So that's... I mean, I really... parents don't say that their kid is X months old to feel special, which I think is like... That is the #1 crime in, like, Western society, is like, oh, you just want attention. They say it because 95% of their communication happens with, like, other parents who are also the parents of young children. What a run, dude. So they, like, when you see a kid and that kid is, like, running and your kid is crawling, and then you're like, oh, they're both 1. You're like, well, I feel like a piece of shit now. They're not 1. One of them is, like, 23 months, and then the other one is, like, 13 months. There's a huge difference. That's, like, half of a life away. It's a big difference. Did you see the video of the guy... the orangutan grabbing the guy through the bars of the cage? It's scary. I did not see it, but I got to. One of my favorite genres of videos is overly confident people at the zoo getting what they deserve. Is scary. I know I haven't seen the video, but I do just want to say, why'd you put yourself in a position where the orangutan could grab you through the bars? It sounds, just from a conceptual standpoint, like you kind of got what you deserved. If you'll allow me to say it, it kind of sounds like you got what you deserved. It was legit not the guy's fault. He was pretty far back. I gotta see it, man. I gotta see this video. There's a lot of great zoo moments. I remember, this wasn't even like a viral video. We were just watching American news for some... Or no, it was Canadian news. But at the end of, like, the local news, they're always like, in other news, here's some, like, incredibly fucked up shit from, like, Santa Barbara County. And then it was a dad who, he took his 2-year-old son and jumped into the gorilla pen with him. Not to be like, you know, hey... I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Not as like he wasn't trying to get hurt. He was trying to snap a selfie, basically. So it just the zoo is a funny place, man. Some people, they get overconfident when they see those bars. They think there's no... I mean, they still... I mean, I guess I was gonna say they could still grab you, but I mean, if you go into the pen, you kind of... I mean, what do you expect's gonna happen? Gorilla ate my baby prank gone wrong. It's just like... Yeah, sure, I'll probably take it because it's amazing. This is an insane run, dude. It's actually... Like, look at the items on the right side of the screen. Except for look, listen, they're all horrendous. I mean, horrendously bad, which means they're horrendously good. I don't know what I'm saying. I need to drink some water. We can't see it? Your head's in the way? When did they move? Oh, because I got my map out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now you can see it. He'll go alt path? I'm not going to go alt path. doubters. I never go alt path anymore. I love to have fun. Great way to describe it. Most people go to the zoo to see the animals. I go to see the people. I haven't been to the zoo in a long time, though. When my mom was here, she brought home movies. I already mentioned this story because it was... She brought USB sticks of, like, home movies from when I was a kid. Like, really young. Like, 1, 2 years old. And the first punchline was that she was like, can you play these home movies? And we plugged it into our smart TV, and it was like, we don't recognize the file format. Then I plugged it into the Xbox, and it was like, we don't recognize this file format. Then I plugged it into my computer, and for some reason, the file format was like a video file I've never seen in my entire life. It was like .nkv or something like that. Like, so she had to bring over her laptop. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. Not MKV. I'm telling you, it was like... sincerely, it was a video file format I've never seen. It was obvious that she had used like a... What's the CD burning software? She had used some kind of, like, proprietary CD burning software. Yeah, she used, like, Nero or something like that. And then it was, like, it just spits it out as, like, a file format you can only play if you have, like, the newest QuickTime plugin or something like that. Anyway. I know I could play it in VLC, but it's just, like, she gave us the USB keys. And then we had, like, 25 ways we could just instantly get a USB key to put a video on the screen, but none of them worked, so I had to get her laptop and then an HDMI cord in order to stream it from the laptop directly to the TV. It was like, it was... Someone, we gotta start having more classes at the community center for, like, if you want to encode files, here's, like, the 3 file types you should use. Anyway, long story short, there was a video where we were at the zoo, and it was... the scariest zoo I'd, like, ever seen in my life. As a kid, I didn't know this, but, you know, as an adult, it was just, like, the cheapest cages you'll ever see in your life that were, like, insanely small. And then it would just have, like, a hand-painted sign that's, like, African lion, and then there would just be, like, a really skinny lion just pacing around the circumference of the cage and, like, glaring at everybody, just pacing the whole time. It was like the middle of July, and there was like a circus cage, and there was a polar bear in it. It was just walking back and forth and, like, looking at everybody that was looking at him. And I was too. I was like, polar bear, polar bear. My grandpa, who was filming, was like, Ryan, look at the polar bear. Isn't that cool? Look at the polar bear. Wow, look at that. Look at that lion. Whoa, that's so cool. Look at that lion. They took me to this weird, like, Joe Exotic zoo and didn't teach me about, like, the ethical weight of the place we were at. Things were different in the 90s, man. People did not give a shit about anything. Why am I... Oh, yeah, it's not so bad. BFF, not so bad. My grandpa's canceled? He's insanely canceled, for sure. There's no doubt about that. What do you do? Spawns 2 to 4 golden chests. Okay, that's not so bad. Necropolis 1. I mean, even, like, sometimes the Vancouver Aquarium is very conservation focused. They do a ton of education. They, you know, take threatened species, rescue them, and then, like, re-release them in the wild. Sure, I guess I'll take, like, the best item in the game. And even then, when you're at the aquarium, at least before they had to release the cetaceans, you were like, I'm not sure this beluga should be in, like, this pool. It just, like... And then you almost, like, they taunt it a little bit, you know? I mean, I don't think the beluga knows, but they'll be like, in the wild, belugas can swim up to 100 kilometers in a single day and dive up to 500 meters below the surface of the ocean. And then they're like, I mean, they're in a pool. This is kind of a big pool, and they're doing flips and stuff, but you're like, you don't have to rub it in. I'm being honest, the Vancouver Aquarium is pretty animal focused. It's not a Joe Exotic situation. But still, I was like, the cetaceans maybe. That's it maybe. Primates in a zoo is also a little... Like, if you go to the aquarium and there's, like, you know, some jellyfish and, like, a, you know, like a starfish and, like, a crab or something, you're like, okay. When there's, like... Why would I do this in here? When there's, like, a gorilla and they're like, did you know gorillas are, like, you know, our closest living evolutionary relative? Their intelligence is 96% that of a human being. And you're like, well, we get them out of the damn cage, man. Get my boy out of the cage. What's he doing in there? But I do have to reconcile that with the idea that I think being a human in like an alien zoo actually doesn't sound that bad, as long as the aliens are somewhat benevolent. As long as the aliens, they weren't like hitting us with like, you know, we didn't have shock collars or something like that, or, you know, they weren't poking us with cattle prods and stuff. Might be, it seems like mostly you just kind of chill. They'd probably give you like a TV or something like that. You mostly just like hang out. I'm not saying it's my ideal life. I'm just saying, you know, could be worse. You could have to work in an office. Plus, imagine, like, you don't even know. Your neighbor could be, like, from a different galaxy. You'd be like, whoa. Like, you would be a zoo. And I guess I've never considered this, but it might be true for the animals as well. Like, it's crazy because, like, you've never seen a gorilla up close before. But imagine being the fucking gorilla and your neighbor's, like, a polar bear. You'd be like, what? You would never expect to see a polar bear as a gorilla and vice versa. Okay. Flip's good now? Silverback versus a polar bear, who wins? That's a tough one, man. I think, let's assume they fight in a neutral environment. I'm kind of thinking the silverback, man. Because I feel like it's just more agile. Like, a polar bear is fast, but it's not, like, if there was a single tree in the arena, like, what's the polar bear gonna do? That's a gorilla's home turf. This is your most controversial take? I mean, a polar bear, that's no joke. That's got to be like the scariest bear, right? I don't want to fight any animal that willfully chooses to live in the Arctic. But I mean, a silverback gorilla, I feel like it could rip a man's arms out of his sockets without even breaking a sweat. I feel like if you shook hands with a gorilla, you're at risk. Oh god, not this again. I'm not taking the pill. Polar bears are crazy. There's no questioning that. Polar bears weigh 3 times as much as a gorilla. Yeah, well, Butterbean weighs 3 times as much as Johnny Knoxville, and Johnny Knoxville still roasted his ass. Is that true? Yeah, have you not seen Jackass 2? Classic line, is Butterbean okay? World's strongest man versus a standard gorilla. You know, I don't want to see, like, Half-Thor Bjornsson fight a gorilla, but I would love to see them go toe-to-toe in, like, a deadlift competition. Because I really don't know. Obviously, the gorilla just has, like, a morphological advantage, but the mountain has been training to do 1,100-pound deadlifts his whole life. Like, could the average gorilla deadlift 1,200 pounds? If it knew what the task, if it knew there was a banana or like a big bucket full of leaves waiting for it at the end, would it? You think it could deadlift 1,200 pounds? Absolutely. Gorilla's deadlift projection, 2,400 pounds. This is based on a 6x weight ratio. The basis from this projection comes from a report in 1975 that was reportedly covered in the Guinness Book of World Records. Holy cow. That's a big deadlift. I don't really want this item, though. I guess you gotta take it, right? Like, why wouldn't you take it? But... And then I can hold 2 shitty trinkets. Can deadlift a smart car? Don't... Look! I still maintain that when I was lifting, I don't think I could deadlift the weight of a smart car. That's insanity. But I will say I felt strong enough that every time I saw a smart car, I thought if I went up to the side of it and really gave it my all, I could at least lift the 2 wheels on the side I was grabbing like a centimeter off the ground. And I still believe that to this day. I don't know, somebody can do like the physics calculation for like what it would require force-wise, like power-wise, in order to lift 2 wheels of a smart car a centimeter off the ground. I genuinely think I could do it. But not now. But back in the day. 2 teenagers could probably do it. Yeah, but I mean without performance-enhancing drugs like alcohol. I'm willing to give you a chance here. Every time I see the Shaq lull, dude, it just brings a smile to my face. Just makes me happy to see it, man. It's like it hits better than a +2. Okay, yeah. I suppose, why not? Yeah. I don't want to mess with an animal, though. Like, I know I've previously said something some people might describe as ridiculous, like the idea that I have a 5% chance against a gorilla. I want to be clear that all I'm doing in that situation, I'm not saying that if we fought 1,000 times, I would win 50. All I'm saying is that in a 1 sample size fight, anything can happen. So the 5% factor is like the anything can happen factor. He could trip over and fall on a sharp branch that hits him in the throat or something like that. I could use my superior intellect to line a pit with like leaves, and then I'd coerce him into falling in or something like that. So I'm baking in a 5% puncher's chance. Exactly. I want this. I mean, this is the easiest run I've ever seen. This is incredible. I do wish I'd kept flip for this, but whatever. Who cares? Then it isn't 5%? No, it's 5% once. If we fought 1,000 times, I would lose 999. But I think I would get that one time out of 1,000, the 5% would hit. Dude, 0.1%? You're crazy. That's like never. 5%. If I give myself a 5% chance, I think 1 in 1,000 times is like a 50-50 shot. You sound like Dan right now? Okay, mission accomplished then. Oh, we can fly. Why would you do it like that? Whatever. Payout? Payout? I can literally just fly. Hello.
I almost got a heart attack.
Uh-oh.
I like to check 4 ways.
Yeah.
I was turning left, and then this lady, as I was turning left, she like started to cross, but she didn't look like she was gonna cross. That's why I went. But then, as I was turning left, she like went in, and then I
see, yeah.
I was like, what the heck, lady? And then like I stopped in the middle, right? Like in the middle of the road, because like she was crossing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the lady looked at me and she was like, and I was like, oh, how am I supposed to predict the future that you're gonna cross because you didn't look like you're gonna cross? And then I stopped for you because you didn't check your 4-way. And then now she was going all like,
I gotta tell you, this is why I like selfish pedestrians. And I know how that sounds, but I stand by it. The number one thing you want when driving is predictability. I want pedestrians that are looking like they're going to cross the street. They cross the street immediately. I want, I would rather that cyclists followed the rules of the road, but at this point, anytime I come to a 4-way stop and then I'm there first and a cyclist gets there second, I just let them go because I know they're just going to go anyways, and I don't want to, have that murder on my conscience for, the rest of my life, but cyclists, and I say this as a Peloton devotee, cyclists be like, sorry, the city's not designed for cars. Yeah, it's not designed around bikes either, Floyd Landis. I didn't realize that the main priority for civic engineers and urban planners is, hey, let's design this intersection so that cyclists feel like they can't stop because their legs are not strong enough to... I've spent minutes generating this kind of momentum. I'm on a downhill and you want me to stop? In order to start again, I'd have to lay off my brake for 3 seconds. My legs are so tired. I bike to work every day. I have a 0.75 kilogram to watt to kilogram ratio. Just get over yourself. Anyway.
My heart is still beating so hard. But because the lady, not because I got surprised by the lady.
Yeah.
It's because of the lady, how she was toxic to me.
Yeah, she hit you with the
Yeah, and then on the right one, she's a crazy one. Head to toe, she was red.
What do you mean?
She was dressed red.
She was dressed in all red.
Her hair was red, her coat was red, her shirt was red, her pants were red, and her shoes were red. And I'm like, I think this lady is a little crazy.
I don't want to be too judgmental. You know how you can also know that you're in the right? She's walking around the neighborhood at 9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. Get a job, lady in red. Get a job.
I cannot go outside. I feel so weak right now.
Can I not use flip here? Are we on flipless? What the heck? Oh, it's only item pedestals or something? Why didn't you take C-section? Because it doesn't, you know how at some point you just reach an age where information, your brain will always, if you were born in 1936, your brain is always going to feel like it's 1961, right? Even when it's 2000, you're going to be like, well, back in my day, a Coca-Cola cost a nickel. That's my problem with C-section, is that for a time, it was broken, right? Wasn't there something where it could actually, corrupt your save? So I codified that into my brain, And then they didn't fix it for like 10 years or something like that. So I just decided, you know what? This is a solved situation. It's the most fun item now. What does it even do? Except get chat mad at me. Anyway. Lest any cyclist be offended by my take. You should know I'm kind of like an equal opportunity traffic hater. Certainly, I would never go to bat for cars. When I'm driving, cars are the most annoying thing. I understand the irony. Pedestrians are also up there. I don't know, like, you're about to make me do like a physical bit. Because the way, imagine this is the end of the sidewalk and they have a don't walk signal. Pedestrians legit walk like this. And then they stop like at a dead sprint. And then, like, you're driving, you got a green light, but you're still like, I don't drive to the light. I drive so that I don't hit any idiots with my damn car. Why are you approaching the sidewalk at a speed that seems like you're not going to stop and then slamming on the Healy brakes? And this is insanity to me. Statistically speaking, like 5% of chat, aka 1 in 1,000, is going to be in this group. Why y'all be standing, waiting for the light to change to a walk signal, with your damn toes over the sidewalk, hanging out in the street, like you're trying to create like a workman's comp claim? I'd literally just move 3 inches back from the edge of the sidewalk. It doesn't make any sense. Because fuck them cars? But it's not like you are the only person who loses in this situation. Bro, the cars aren't supposed to be that close to the curb. Why not just move back a little bit? So that if a car is that close to the curb, because like 50% of drivers be looking at their phones every 2 seconds, that your toes don't get severed off by a Jeep Discovery. I don't understand. Just keep the entirety of both of your feet on the sidewalk. It's the same logic as people that are like, you know, oh, if I'm crossing a one-way street, I only look one way, because then if I get fucking killed, it's the other car's fault. Okay, idiot, you're dead. Congrats. You're the most correct man in the graveyard. Because you couldn't... Because this was too much work for you. Wow, you're such a big man. That's how I feel when people are like... You don't even want to get me started. It's because I told this story in a... I think it was maybe a Super Auto Pets video, and it didn't make any sense. I was at a crosswalk, and I had a don't walk signal, but there were no cars coming. So I thought, you know what? I'm a free thinker. Justin Trudeau doesn't get to tell me how to live my life. I'm not going to wait for a little LED light to tell me when it's fucking safe to walk. I'm just going to jaywalk. And then I looked around and I was like, you know what? There's like parked vans and stuff like that that could obscure... Like they create blind spots for me. Somebody could be really speeding and then come through. And I realized I don't need the light to tell me when to walk. I need the light to tell all the stupid motherfuckers driving their cars to stop. I don't need a light that says, oh, okay, Mr. Sheeple, now you can cross the street. I need a visual signal in 4 directions so that all the idiots who are not paying attention, they're like, hey, keep it down back there, changing the radio. This is only my second favorite song. Let me hit shuffle until I get my favorite song. So that they get a signal that crosses the executive function aspect of their brain, goes straight to the brainstem, and they touch the brakes. It's not that the light says, walk, you can now walk, I'm giving you permission from the government. It's that the light tells everyone else around you to slow the fuck down so you don't kill me when I'm walking. Anyways, slash marker. That's Isaac 1, and then we pay out the